Innovation, society, leadership, and change. Insight 360. Join the conversation.
Japa, Japa, Japa. This is a word that there is hardly a Nigerian that will tell you that he or she has not heard it, or they don't know what it means. Hello and welcome to Insight 360. I am Nefisat Abdurrahman. And on today's episode, we'll be talking about one of Nigeria's most pressing issues. You heard me right. We have a lot of issues, but Japa is one of the most pressing. I didn't say it's the most pressing because I know some of you will come for me. How will you say Japa is one of the most pressing? We don't have food, we don't have this. I know, but whether we like it or not, it is among one of the most pressing issues affecting Nigeria in all ways. Today, I am here with the Director of Media, Public Relations and Protocols Unit, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, Mr. Abdurrahman Balogun. It's nice to have you here, sir.
Thank you. It's Abdurrahman.
Oh, oh, that's true. So I'm having this gist. I'm having this conversation with my father. So expect to have some kind of family scenes on here. It's nice to have you here, sir.
Yes, thank you. Thank you
So,
for having me.
let's dive straight into the factors that are driving the wave of the Japa trend in Nigeria. Most people have said, oh, the major factor is going to look for greener pastures, going to look for a better life and all. Do you think that's the only factor that is driving the wave of Japa trend in Nigeria, sir?
Well, thank you for having me. As you
You're
said,
welcome, sir.
Japa, but you have not concluded on it. We are on Japada. That is the one that we have coined now. For those who Japa, for every 10 members that Japa, we have 5 members that are Japada. Japa syndrome, as you know, I think the word originally is a kind of slang in Yoruba language, meaning migration. But this migration it tends to be a negative kind of migration. It's not the normal migration. And that's why you hear them saying, oh boy, I don't Japa. You know, it's not the normal movement.
So it's not legal to
It's
say.
not legal. It's irregular Japa. It's irregular migration. Before we come into factors causing it, so many factors, we really need to distinguish this concept very well. That Japa in itself connotes negativity. It connotes escape. It's like somebody escaping from hardship to relief. It's like somebody escaping from torture, difficulty to ease. And then when you interact with them, why do you want to move? They will tell you, things are so hard, yeah. Actually, I was discussing with someone yesterday. Okay, where you move to now, you are not looking for resident permit. You are not looking for this, you are not looking for that. You want to pay bills. You are eager. You say you need to work. You cannot work without a resident permit. And all these challenges. Or else once they get you, they return you back to the country. So why do you move? You say, you know now things are not easy in the country, this and that and that. I mean, to cut a long story short, people felt things are difficult here, and then where they are going to, things are very, very much easier there. You can pick pounds or dollars on the road. Once you get there, they just give you job. At least things are still better than that there. Meanwhile, the rent that you pay in UK or in US for 1 month is equivalent of the money you use in buying a house in Maitama.
Wow. Is it that bad, sir?
It is as bad as that.
Wow.
So the bills just this morning, somebody asked for something close to 40,000 naira. And I was telling myself, I said, 40,000 naira. But later, when I translated it to British pounds, I said, it's just less than 20 pounds.
Wow.
20 pounds there is something that I'll just use to buy, to go on a transportation from maybe from Sheffield to London City.
Wow.
I mean, you will not want to use that here. That for a journey of 1 hour, you are spending close to
40,000 naira.
I mean, you'll be raising
That's somebody's salary in Nigeria.
Yes, you'll be raising alarm. It's actually 20 pounds, actually 80,000, not 40,000.
Wow.
Because 10 you multiply it by 2. So the point I'm making is that people who travel through these ways, they always complain that things are not rosy in the country. That's why they are Japa. And I just hope that those reasons are still there. Someone that says things are not rosy. Do you know they sell their family land, some their houses, some their cars, to the tune of 25 million to procure visa and some other documentation just that may end up to be fake. That they may end up to be fake just to do this. Are you telling me within the economic situation in the country, if you have like 25 million naira, you can't get something better to do for yourself?
You can so, create a very good business.
That's why I really don't want to join them to parrot those reasons that say things are difficult, things are that. The second aspect of it is that we are over 200 million in this country.
Very lot.
Now people say people travel. How many people travel compared to our population? I'm not too sure that we have 200,000 people. That Japa.
Is that in a month or a year, sir? I just want us to be clear.
Throughout a year.
2,000.
200,000.
Yes. Out of over 200 million in the country.
So
why do they make it look like people are going out, people are moving out?
People are going
because
out.
That's the idea that we have, that people are always traveling.
People are traveling, really, people are traveling. If you check with the immigration, you see that people are traveling, people are obtaining passports, they are doing this, they are doing that. The embassies are making money from visas and all the rest. And so, but the point is that most people that are traveling, which is their fundamental human right, I think we have to get that right.
Yes.
Under the immigration law, you have the fundamental human right
to travel.
But what we are saying at Nigerian Diaspora Commission is that if you must travel legitimately, travel with dignity, travel with your documentation, travel by being a good ambassador of Nigeria.
Okay, sir. I'm sorry to cut you short. We'll come back to that aspect of traveling, the legal and illegal part of it. Let's move down to history. How have Nigeria always experienced the aspect of people wanting to leave this bad? Because we are at a stage where people are how do I say it? They are so, in quotes, naive. They just want to leave. Everybody has, like you said, everybody has this idea that, oh, it is better outside, it is easier outside. How long has this Japa syndrome been in the country? How did it start? Is there like a history map to this?
Well, how do I put it now? Traveling out of the country, it has been in existence as far back as I know. If you really dig into the migration history, I mean, it has been from time immemorial, both biblically and Quranically. People migrate from one area to the other.
Yeah.
To the Muslim, Prophet Muhammad in 14, over 40,000 years ago, migrated from Mecca to Medina.
Yes.
Due to one reason, and that was why that your question was very important. That why do people move? People move based on various things. So coming back to Nigeria, here in Nigeria, people have been traveling since we got independence. People have been traveling, but look at the quality of people traveling. You are not hearing all this kind of thing. That's why I said we have to separate it. Those who are traveling for genuine reason, either for studies, the likes of all our leaders, mention all of them, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Awolowo, Ahmadu Bello, all of them, they all travel out for studies, for this, for that, in the 40s, in the 50s, in the 60s. They all travel out to acquire education. And then when they are back, they are now imparting it on the society. Yeah. So the point there is that this traveling thing has started for a very long time, but the high point of it came in the 80s, when people felt it was difficult to Andrew is leaving the country. There was this jingle then on television that don't live like Andrew. Andrew, I mean, there are a lot to. Then we are talking of 83, 83, 84.
As far back as 1983.
Yes, 40 years ago.
Wow.
So this phenomenon started then. People thought perhaps there was something bad in the country. At this time I was telling you, let me give you a scenario. 83, 84, a bag of rice was sold for 6 naira. A cow, a giant cow, was sold for 6 naira. I mean, a giant cow was sold for 60 naira. A dollar or a naira, $1 was changed for 85 kobo. It's even
Sir,
less
you
than
said
1
kobo.
naira.
I need to be sure.
Yes,
I need to be sure I
it's
heard
less
that
than
right.
1 naira. As at 84, 85. You can quote me. I'm on live program. As at 84, 85. And people said this was so bad. That time to travel to UK via Nigeria Airways was less than maybe 50 naira or thereabout. So, and people said things are bad, things are bad, things are bad. Meanwhile, those years, people there are even coming to Nigeria to understudy us. That was a year we have too many of expatriates. In your school, you have teachers from India, from Ghana, from UK, US, and we have exchange programs. A lot. People
so the experience was coming to Nigeria.
Yes. That was our developmental years. Things have been developed here and there. So many gigantic things that we are talking about now were being done during those periods. So what I'm saying is that people continue to travel. The population of Nigeria then was just about 45 to 50 million. Now we are now 200 million.
And above.
So movement is also equivalent to the number of population. I mean, look at the number of Chinese, for instance. China is 1.4 billion people. India is 1.3 billion people. See the number of Chinese or Indians that travel out of their various countries. And I'm not too sure they are shouting, people are Japa, people are Japa, people are Japa. Because the population was just there. And where they are going to, they are in need of labor. They are in need of people to work for them. You know, they are providing services where they are going. We are only saying legalize your movement.
Okay, thank you for that In fact, that is like the best insight I've had when talking about Japa with anybody. Earlier, you talked about Japada, like they are going, but they are still being deported. The most recent is one of the most talked about as of last week, where Nigerians and Ghanaians, I think about 44 of them, were deported in a single flight back to Africa.
Yeah.
But that seems to not be enough for people to understand that you need to travel in a legitimate way, because aside from them being deported, people even die in the process.
Yeah.
They fall into the wrong hands.
Yeah.
What do you think is the major problem here? Why are people still not going through the legal means of traveling from Nigeria to other parts of the world?
Well, you know, I'm sorry to say this. People always want to find a shortcut to do things.
Mm-hmm.
How can you help me do this thing? Something that you can do online yourself. You want somebody to quickly
Do
help
it
you
for
do it.
you.
I'll pay the amount. I'll pay any amount. I'll pay any amount. And that one, if that one else see that you are desperate, they will exploit the situation. So that's one of the reasons. Two, I don't see any reason why you cannot travel legitimately. What is the process? Obtain a passport. Two, apply for your visa. You must have a vision. You must have where you want to stay. I mean, if you don't have all that, it's only Nigeria that you just come and nobody will say, where are you from? There, you can't just enter their country
There's a process.
without having any purpose. You must have where you are going to stay. You must have what you are coming there to do. You must have a mission. You don't just say, I've come here to hustle. There's nothing called hustle. It's either you have gone there on holiday, gone there on study, or gone there to do work, also on visits. But hustle is not in their own dictionary. So that is that. Two is that we have people now, you know, like I said, who now exploit the situation.
Yes.
They call themselves agents. They are the ones that are making this, they see it as a business. They see people doing, I mean, you are talking of 44. 44, I may say, is the least of all the Japa that you can think of. I mean, to date, in Libya alone, we brought back over to 20,000. Not to talk of Saudi.
People.
Yes. Not to talk of Saudi. Not to talk of Dubai. Not to talk of South Africa. Not to talk of Ethiopia. Not to talk of even Ghana. There. As I'm speaking with you, some guys that are trafficked to Ghana, they are being returned back to the country. And in the last 2 months now, we must have brought close to 76 of them. And they are teenagers. So what is their problem? They are supposed to still be in school. Under 16. We have one of them who is even under 16 years old. So the point I'm making is that we have a combination of all these factors. Then the greed, then the ego of I've been to this, or I've been to US, I've been to America, I've been to this, I've been to, I mean, you know. And then why they are going through all these illegal means is that, you know, the ECOWAS sub-region, you really don't need visa to
travel
about.
to those parts of the continent.
Yes, you don't need you know, this sub-region, you can move freely. So when they move freely into those sub-regions, for instance, in Ghana, Mali, from there they go through the regular route to enter Morocco or Libya. Morocco, Libya is or Egypt is just 2 hours to Europe, to any part of Europe like Spain and the rest. So that's the route, the normal and very, very dangerous route. Like Randy said, a lot of them have died. Like Randy said, those we brought back from Libya, a lot of them who are ladies were molested. Some came back with pregnancy. Wow. Some came back with babies that they don't know their father, and all the rest like that. So is that the kind of life a decent person should live?
Let's move from the individual aspect of Japa to the professional aspect. We've even President Tinubu has, his administration to some point has tried to curb the situation. I'm talking about our doctors leaving the country, our nurses, our expatriates in general leaving the country. And then we've also seen even those ones that are here struggling to survive, going on strike, people going to the hospital, nobody to attend to them. What is your take on this part of Japa, sir?
Well, that is professional migration.
Yes.
Yes, we have professional migration. People always look for better opportunities. I mean, in as much as I don't want to speak for them, at least you have, they have some form of excuses to say that the infrastructure to work with are not here.
Available.
To what they are earning is not commensurate to what their colleagues outside there are earning. 3, there's a job aside here, and up there there's a protection against any form of assault. 4, generally everybody wants better living condition for himself or herself. So these are some of the things, and a lot of these factors have been addressed. Of course, recently, from 30,000, the federal government has jacked up minimum wage to 70,000.
So I don't agree with you.
And they've not jacked it up.
They have, but
Okay.
I mean, let's look at the situation of
Just tell me what I've said now is not right.
Sir.
They've jacked it up or not?
They have.
Good.
But do you think, oh God, now we are going to move from Japa to minimum wage?
No, because
To
these are some of the
minimum wage.
reasons.
So
You
my
ask me a
point
question.
here,
Let me
sir,
learn. Let me learn. Federal government has increased minimum wage from 30,000 to 70,000. And don't forget, I said minimum wage.
okay.
Then the lecturers or the professionals traveling out due to paucity of funds and small money, they have increased some of their allowances, which I am aware of. My wife is one of them. They have increased their allowances, and then they also they have 9 conditions, things that they are asking for. Then they are talking of infrastructure. Some of this infrastructure are being provided, put in place. I just visited one this weekend. Some of the infrastructure are being put in place. And then living condition, some other extra thing. We have some cases of offering some of them housing allowance, some car allowance, some even the house, government built houses. Even though some other civil servants, they don't have those access again.
Yeah, okay, sir,
but they give them residence.
Talking about these residents, can you like point out some examples of, okay, this particular profession, this project is ongoing for them, so people will actually know that these things we are saying are factual and are not just hearsays?
Well, it's not me that will say that, but if you want me to say, it's there that you should invite and let them come and tell you. Maybe you believe them. But I'm aware, because in the health sector we have a diaspora desk who is monitoring this. We have, in fact, just yesterday, my chairman and my boss, Honorable Abiketa Bierewa, commissioned a multi-billion naira hospital project located in Lagos, donated and built, facilitated by a diaspora, a medical person, with all the 2024 modern gadgets there. Yes. This just happened Lagos yesterday. If you are on our platform, I can share this information with you. And it was on many news channels yesterday. So it's not hearsay. And that's why I said some people are jackpada with some things. And those are our diaspora. Not people that went illegally. People that went legally, I mean, you can see some of them coming back to invest back home. And one of the programs we normally hold for them is coming up November 4 to no, November 5 to 7. We call it Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit. They are coming from ICT, health, agriculture, and other education, other sector like that. What they have done in the country, what they have done in country. 3 years ago, we celebrated over 600 of them.
Wow.
Yes, diaspora who are remitting back home. And in July, August, our CBN, for the first time in 20-something years, reported that diaspora remittance was the highest ever, July, August this year. So that's to tell you that as some people are jackpotting, some are jackpotting with increased investment opportunities and benefits to the country.
Having talked about the brain drain and the personal travels, what are the immediate and long-term effects of Japa on Nigeria's economy, to be specific?
Well, you mentioned brain drain now. What we now have is brain gain and brain circulation. I've just told you what a diaspora has done, and this is about the 17th person that I can quickly count now that you call it brain drain, your brain drain, but they be able to acquire skills, they be able to acquire wealth, they be able to acquire exposure to the extent that they now come back home, one, to train people back at home, two, the wealth they acquire, they invest back at home, three, the exposure, they brought it back here for people who care, and we are utilizing them. In fact, we are instituted what we call National Diaspora Merit Award. We recognize them to encourage them. We celebrate them. So, to answer your question in a nutshell, what we call brain drain is to us brain gain and now brain circulation. Yes, they are now coming back to reinvest what we thought they have lost. You know, by going, we thought, well, we've lost one doctor. And that doctor got there, acquired the knowledge,
Became better,
came back, trained many doctors. In fact, a lot of medical missions are going on in Nigeria as I speak here simultaneously. Medical missions, they come back, they go back to their root. When I mean root, either their states, because at least you come from one state
somewhere,
and say this is what they want to do. A school recently celebrated 50 years of existence. They came back, all their old students, those from the diaspora, and renovated a lot of things for them, did a lot of things for them, better than the way they left it. So that is gain, that is circulation. And people will not say, well, it's good to travel. But those who have traveled, see them coming back to do something for us.
Thank you, sir. Let's talk about the perception of Nigerians who have Japa from Nigeria to other countries. How do people over there perceive Nigerians?
You know, it's a multidimensional question and answer. So the people over there, the way they perceive Nigeria, they see Nigeria as very resilient. They see Nigeria as very intelligent. They see Nigeria as very hardworking, dedicated, committed. Of course, there are a few of them who also see Nigeria as 419er, as criminals, because of some few Nigerians who have spoiled our image abroad. And that's what we are saying. Any Nigerian that is committed any crime, they should punish such Nigerians. And you can see a lot of them are in various prisons. We will tell them when they are going, don't carry drugs, they will carry drugs. We will tell them when they are going, be a good ambassador. They will go there and be doing fraud. And their own system, their own is don't commit crime. Once you commit, they will get you. They will get you. So my view about that is just that we have been doing our advocacy for Nigeria to be good ambassador wherever they go to. And if they commit any crime, we have no hesitation to say that the law should take its course.
Okay. Aren't there cases of stereotyping?
That was stereotyping.
Oh, he's a Nigerian, so the treatment being given to them over there is different from what is being
Yeah, I've
given to
just said
other
it now. For
countries.
instance, look at Dubai. I mean, I'm trying to agree with you on this stereotyping. Look at Dubai. Some Nigerians, four of them, they are from one section of this country. Went into a country barely 48 hours and went to their Burundi change and broke into it, having away over $15 million. But they were caught. Now, any Nigerian that now want to do any business with the financial institution there will be seen as criminal.
Mm.
Nigerians went to the same Dubai and they are fighting. See, two secret court groups.
Mm.
They are brandishing cutlass on the street of Dubai.
Mm.
Because of it, they now withdraw uh, resident permits of some Nigerians. To the extent that for good 2 years, they are even plane, Emirates Airline, was asked to stay back until I think 2 weeks ago
Yeah.
that they resolved this.
We'll talk
It was
about
caused by the bad behavior of some Nigerians. So I agree with you that they could now see that, oh, this Nigeria have come again.
Mm.
And Nigerians move this way. Let us search you properly.
Mm.
Because there is no way they will know those who have good intention with those who have bad
Have bad
intention.
intention.
So some few bad Nigerians have really spoiled the punch of our orange, or what you like call it, apple. It's a bad small.
This one egg has spoiled the rest. Okay, what are the effects you think, or what are the effects you see that this Japa trend in Nigeria has on the global migration trend?
Well, the global migration, like I said, I may not really agree that the Japa, the way we are saying Japa, I keep on asking, what is the what do you call it now, percentage
Percentage.
of those people who are Japaing to our percentage?
Mm.
Now, between you and I, do we feel it?
So I don't know.
No, Nigeria don't feel it. Do we lack people to work in Nigeria?
We don't actually.
In fact, people are asking for a job in Nigeria.
Don't you think, sir, that's because there are no jobs?
Yeah, people asking for job. People asking for job. People asking for job. We have more people pursuing fewer jobs in Nigeria. And that is why the pressure is that for them to travel so that they will get the job, they will still want to come back home. So on a global arena, I really don't know. Well, the impact that I see is more of a positive impact because they are providing services where they are going to. I mean, most of the Europe now and America, you see, when you buy something, you don't even see human being attending to you.
Mm.
You buy the thing, you want to know the price, there's a place you go to, you
Check
flip
the
it,
price.
check the price.
Mm.
You want to pay, you pay, you collect your change with the machine. You talk with the machine, and you cannot steal anything there. They'll get you. So they employ machine to do some of these things, and they needed labor. Labor is very, very expensive in Europe and America abroad, and that is the truth because they do DIY, do it yourself. So to pay labor is even more expensive than to engage technology.
Technology. Okay, you while having this discussion, you told us about how Leadcom has come through for certain projects, the commission, the remittance to Nigeria's economy through CBN. What advice would you, as a person and as the director of media and publicity for Leadcom, give to people who see themselves traveling out of the country?
Well, what we normally tell them is that be a good ambassador of Nigeria. Do not do things that will stain the image of you, your family, your state, and the country. Because once you do something bad, Others that are coming, you have already blocked their way. So be a good ambassador. And in being good ambassador is creating a good image for Nigeria. And then, I mean, if only that one, every other thing will follow. Don't do anything untoward. Make sure you have your documentation complete. Don't do anything that will tarnish your image and that of the country. That is our major advice we give to them. And you see them, those who heed to that advice, they go and come back. They go and come back and invest back home. And I mean, because actually, those are the diaspora. Others are just travelers. People just travel, get into trouble. They are not diaspora. Well, you must have traveled, stay in that country for 1 year, and be having a link back home. You have a fixed address there that you can say you are a diaspora. A lot of Nigerians are sleeping in shelters. They don't have a home. They can't do that in Nigeria. Yet they say that place is better. They are sleeping in shelter. Some Nigerians went to some country I don't want to mention. They died because of the cold. Imagine somebody sleeping in a minus zero. Yes, or just 2 degrees. I mean, how will you survive? It's like sleeping inside a deep freezer. So how will you survive that weather? Very harsh weather. But God has blessed us in the country. We have everything that it takes. We just hope that people will take advantage of it. The remaining aspect of job, money, that people are, the money is here. The
But
job will
not
definitely
everybody
come.
has it, sir.
Everybody cannot have money, even where they are going to. We have the miscreant too in America. We have miscreants in UK. I just came back from there, so we see these people. So I mean, they say fingers are not equal. It's not only Nigeria, even there too. They have beggars, so they have people begging.
Yes.
And if you beg here, you get more money than beggars there because they don't give. They will tell you, go and work. Go and do
Thank you so
something.
much, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you. I really appreciate it. So you've heard it all from the Director of Media and Publicity of Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Mr. Abdurrahman Balogun. Remember, the land is green.
Yeah,
Right here, Nigeria is green.
no place
If you
like
must
home.
travel out, it should be in a legitimate way.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing you again in another promising and thrilling episode of Inside 360. I remain Nefisat Abdurrahman. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.